Captain Ibrahim Traore is not dependent on the IMF. Captain Ibrahim Traore is not dependent on the World Bank. But this gentleman is still being able to develop his country, create jobs, employment, and many more as we speak. You know, the Western leaders' eyes are on Captain Ibrahim Traore because they believe that with how Captain Ibrahim Traore is coming to lead, with the leadership policies that Captain Ibrahim Traore is bringing, with the new development that Captain Ibrahim Traore is bringing to Africa, if care is not taken, this is the time that we are going to have the United States of Africa, the leader that have been able to unite Africa as we speak. Recently, he talked and then he said we must defend Captain Ibrahim Traore at all costs. Every day we go to the IMF to borrow. Every day we go to the World Bank to borrow. But since Captain Ibrahim Traore came to office, we have not seen Captain Ibrahim Traore walk to the IMF for money or walk to the World Bank for money. No, this gentleman is not doing it, and he's developing Burkina Faso as we speak. Does that mean that African leaders are using Africans to develop the West? Because the West comes to Africa for gold, they comes to Africa for resources, they comes to Africa for almost everything, and go back to their country and develop their country, and Africans become slave of their own resources. The resources we have that we could use those resources to develop our country, we are rather exporting those resources to the Western countries, and we become slaves of our own resources again. So Captain Ibrahim Traore came and said, with all what is happening in Africa, I am not ready to go through. I am not ready to come to the IMF. I am not ready to come to the World Bank. We don't need your loans. That is what Captain Ibrahim Traore said we are going to do. Captain Ibrahim Traore said, we don't need your loans. We are not coming to the IMF. We are not coming to the World Bank. Yet we can develop our own country. We can develop our own country. We can build our own city. We can create our own jobs. We can create our own employment. We can reserve our own resources. So Captain Ibrahim Traore's style of leadership that came with so many policies to cut ties with the Western countries is now the main reason why Western leaders' eyes are on Captain Ibrahim Traore. The US general made a remarks and a statement accusing Captain Ibrahim Traore of taking Burkina Faso gold for his personal interest. You cannot talk about Africa without talking about Captain Ibrahim Traore, because that is the leader that is currently making all things happen in Africa. The Western countries believe that with the style of leadership Captain Ibrahim Traore is putting in place, it is definitely going to bring Africans together. And if Africans comes together and say they are not going to export gold anymore, their natural resources, to the Western countries, the Western countries will therefore become beggars, where they have to come and plead with Africans before they can get resources to go back to develop their own country. So why are African leaders not supporting Captain Ibrahim Traore? Why are African leaders not looking at how this gentleman is leading? 37 years old, just 37 years old, but what this gentleman is doing is massive, is great. So Captain Ibrahim Traore replied the US general who accused him of using Burkina Faso gold for his personal interest, and then he stated that this gentleman must come and apologize. But then he said the gold that we are even talking about here is Burkina Faso gold, is not your gold. So what is your problem? What is your main agenda? More to the point, Captain Ibrahim Traore stated that what is making him feel sad, or what hurts him the more, is using the black man to fight the black man, using the black race to fight the black man. That is what Captain Ibrahim Traore said. It hurts him so much. And looking at the current state and plus against Captain Ibrahim Traore's life is something alarming, and all Africans are protesting. Africans in the diaspora are protesting. All hands off Captain Ibrahim Traore, because that is the leader we need, and we even need more of him. So Captain Ibrahim Traore is just a leader that everyone have to talk about. Captain Ibrahim Traore. So basically this is the reason why Western leaders actually want Captain Ibrahim Traore out of the way. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this video, don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, like this video, give out your comments, talk about what is your opinion, let us know that. So share this video to all Africans to get to watch, and let's see how we can build Africa that we always want. See you next time in the next episode. My name is Richie Randy. We out.